How's it going, folks? I'm Matt. Welcome to Photosyntech. This is an upgrade. Let's get into it. And there you have it. Simply put, it's quite the upgrade. This is the Low Temp Plates V2 all-in-one kit. Granted, part of the kit, the all-in-one stuff, I already had the plates, so they didn't actually send those up. And basically what happened was a couple weeks ago, I got a message from the kind folks at Low Temp saying that they wanted to send me something. And I thought it was just going to be a little bit of swag, something kind of cool like that. But no, they decided they wanted to upgrade me from the giant press and the small cage kit that I had to this beautiful all-in-one setup, and I'm loving it, guys. Super compact, tight. I mean, it's just way less space here on my bench. So let's talk about a couple of things that I really like about it. And of course, first off, again, like I just mentioned, it's super compact. It's a lot smaller than the previous version, and I don't need to have it on this giant A-frame press, or H-frame? A-frame? I don't know the terminology, but the point is way less space, because all I've done now is taken and, well, you can see I can take this right off, is I've got this little tiny 10-ton press right here, as opposed to, again, that giant frame. So that's the first thing that I like. The next thing, though, is I'm digging on the heaviness of this unit. I mean, this thing is solid, weighs over 40 pounds on its own. Super impressed with that. I mean, it's not going anywhere. I mean, it's like, it's rock solid, and that was some swag that they sent me. Little skateboard, but hey, anyway. The quality of construction is absolutely top-notch. These solid steel bars, these really good quality coated springs, and the one thing that I'm digging on, and I actually had a little bit of trouble with during the construction, is the powder coating on here. I mean, they've got a super thick powder coating on, and when I say I had a little bit of trouble was when you're putting the screws in through the plates here and whatnot, there's a little bit of powder coating sitting on the side, so I had a little bit of difficulty getting the screw in. But if you're building one, I found it's just a matter of getting the screw in and kind of working it back and forth a couple times, and then it goes in and holds really nice. And this is super durable quality. I found that when I was putting it together, I thought I scratched the top, but no, not the case. Just high level of durability. Now, the one thing that I did different than Low Temp does is I actually, and I just talked about it earlier, was I went with this 10-ton little tiny press. Now, they've got a couple different models that you can go with for their all-in-one. You can do the compact version with a little tiny, it's like a pancake press, very small, smaller than this. You still use the hand jack, but with this kit, what they recommend to go with is just the simple bottle jack. But I didn't want to go that way because I really like having the gauge. And you can't really see it here, but I'll see if I can pick it up. You guys can see it. There's a gauge that I put there on the pump itself, and I really liked having that on there. So you can do this a couple different ways. You can go with the bottle jack style, and you can get a bottle jack for like under 30 bucks. They're cheap, and it's got these nice rock solid feet on here too, so there's no worries about when you're cranking it to do your pressing. But again, I just like the control, and I really wanted to have the gauge because I guess I'm kind of used to having that to begin with the other style press. So granted, this setup was a little bit more expensive because I bought the pump and the hose and this little tiny press. But the one thing that I had to do that was different was I got this. Well, it's a 2 to 1 1/4 inch hitch adapter. So it's basically just a piece of box steel, but it's got this extra piece inside. I don't know if you guys can really make that out. That makes this thing super strong. And the beauty of it is this thing just fits and sits perfectly in there. So it gives me that little bit of extra height that I need because the throw on this little jack isn't that big. But overall, super impressed with this unit. I mean, I'm familiar with the operation of the plates to begin with because I've had the other press here for quite a while. And again, just a shout out to Low Temp Plates. If you guys didn't see the interview that I did with Levi Lansrath, the owner, I'll post a link up there, well below, but up there in the corner as well. And I encourage you to check that out. Super awesome guy. To be honest, a little bit younger than I expected, but man, you know, he's on the ball. He knows what he's doing there with his press company. So, any downsides? Not really that I could find. The only thing that I'm having, I don't want to say a struggle with, but just more of a learning curve with, is the smaller size here internal to the cage itself. The older one had a little bit more space to work with. So I'm finding it's just a matter of getting used to it. I've only done one pressing with this as well. Now, the only other thing that I would say is, it's not a detractor, it's just a change, is the fact that the pre-press that I use, this round cylinder pre-press for doing the bottle jack style, or sorry, bottle tech style pressing, is this does not fit anywhere in here. Previous to this, I'll just set that down. Previous to this, what I would do is I would actually set that on the base of the big press that I had, but this is not a problem because what I've got coming from Amazon here, and I'll just throw a picture up just so you guys can see, it's not going to be here until tomorrow. It's a different type of clamp that has a crank on it that'll apply up to 500 pounds of pressure, which will be more than enough to do the pre-pressing here. So it's just a bit of a tweak to the methodology. But overall, I am 1000% impressed with the quality of the construction, the ease of use, and just how much tinier this thing is. I mean, guys, that's the big one in my books. It's tiny, but it still does the same job, and it does it really well. So there you go, guys. Low temp plates, awesome quality construction, great customer service, stellar guys to work with. I super appreciate them and recommend you check them out too. I'm Matt, this is Photosyntech. We out.